Our next presenter is Valerie Carson from the Faculty of Kinesiology, Sport and Recreation at the University of Alberta. Valerie is a behavioural epidemiologist in the Faculty of Kinesiology, Sport and Recreation. Her research focuses on healthy development, measurement, and determinants related to physical activity and sedentary behaviour among young children. She works with governments, public health agencies, pediatricians, childcare providers, and parents to promote healthy physical activity and sedentary behaviour habits. Her work supports optimal health throughout life.
Hello, my name is Valerie Carson, and I'm an associate professor in the Faculty of Kinesiology, Sport and Recreation at the University of Alberta. And today I will be presenting on moving more and sitting less to jumpstart children's health. The first 5 years of life span a critical period of overall development that underpins lifelong physical, social, emotional, and mental health. Therefore, it is essential to understand and target the early life experiences that can strengthen or inhibit children's full potential during these formative years. My research demonstrates that regular physical activity or energetic or active play, like running, jumping, climbing, or for an infant, crawling or spending time on their tummy, strengthens children's healthy development in the first 5 years of life and beyond. This is particularly the case when physical activity is done outdoors and in nature, regardless of the season, where children can obtain a whole host of additional health benefits, such as increased vitamin D levels and improved mental well-being. In fact, large systematic reviews we have conducted show the benefits of physical activity are not just for physical development, including motor development, fitness, and bone and skeletal health, but also social, emotional, and cognitive development. My research has also demonstrated that sedentary behavior, or time spent sitting or lying with little movement while awake, can have detrimental effects on all aspects of young children's development. And this is particularly true for screen-based sedentary behavior. And what has emerged from my research over time is that sedentary behavior in the blue and physical activity in the green are distinct yet interdependent behaviors that do not occur in isolation. Their interactions with each other and with sleep in the purple impact children's health. My research has also shown that behavioral habits formed at an early age can continue over time. Therefore, the early years are a critical window of opportunity to target health behaviors that will set children on a trajectory of optimal health throughout life. One starting point for health promotion is guidelines. I recently co-led with my colleague Dr. Mark Tremblay the development of Canadian 24-hour movement guidelines that have spearheaded a new integrated and holistic approach to health promotion for the early years and beyond. This integrated approach for health promotion has been adopted by other countries, such as Australia, New Zealand, and South Africa, as well as other organizations. For instance, the World Health Organization recently released guidelines that are largely based on our Canadian work. But my research has highlighted that physical activity and sedentary behavior in the early years is a critical public health issue that requires early intervention because less than 15% of Canadian infants, toddlers, and preschoolers meet the Canadian guidelines. So how do we effectively promote healthy behavioral habits among young children? And the reality is behavior change is complex, and there are many factors that need to be considered, as shown in this ecological model of physical activity developed by Salas and colleagues. Today, I will very briefly share just a few ideas that my colleagues and I have been focusing on. One area my research focuses on is family, in particular parents. As highlighted in our participation report card on physical activity for children and youth this year, families play a major role in shaping the health behaviors of children. But even intervening at just the family or the parent unit can still be complex. For instance, a study I led found that parental psychological constructs were associated with some parental behaviors, and some parental behaviors were associated with factors in the home environment. And all of these correlates were important when considering toddlers' screen time. Being a parent is a hard job. Therefore, interventions need to consider how best to support parents in shaping the health behaviors of their children. For instance, our Parent Play Shop intervention aims to teach parents how to play with their children to promote fundamental movement skills at home with inexpensive equipment. Another area my research focuses on is the childcare setting. Childcare centers are an ideal setting for promoting regular physical activity and minimal sedentary behavior in young children because a large proportion of children regularly attend these settings for a number of hours per week. Childcare legislation has the potential to positively influence health behaviors across large jurisdictions. However, this type of legislation is limited, and my research in Alberta suggests that for this legislation to be effective, it likely needs to be paired with optimal physical environments as well as meaningful resources and training for childcare educators. Childcare educators are in fact in a unique position to influence physical activity and sedentary behavior among multiple children in their care. But we have found their training in these areas tends to be limited and self-efficacy to teach these skills tends to be low. In summary, the average child today is more connected to a screen than to outdoors and nature, and this has been amplified with the pandemic. Changing behavior is complex, but understanding how to best intervene so children move more and sit less is integral to supporting a healthy start in our youngest Canadians. Thank you.